Welcome back to another MedRevisions video. So today we'll discuss a November 2020 recall and also give you some tips for the PLAB Part 1 exam, and hopefully that will bring you one step closer to passing the exam. Okay, so let's dive right into the video. Now before we discuss the question, please take 50 seconds to pause the video and comment the answer down below. Okay, so we'll get to the question now. We have a 66-year-old man who was in the recovery room a few hours following a major abdominal surgery when his BP drops to 75/35 mm mercury with a pulse rate of 125 beats per minute. He has a cardiac output of 3 liters per minute and a pulmonary capillary wedge pressure of 20 mm mercury. Now the normal range is 4 to 12 mm mercury, and the question is asking us about the best term. What is the best term for this type of shock? And the correct answer is cardiogenic shock. Okay, cardiogenic shock. Now before we discuss this further and discuss the other options, don't forget to smash that like button. It wouldn't even take a second. Come on, what are you waiting for? And also comment down below on any other topics you'd like us to cover in the future, and make sure that you check out the reviews from our past PLAB candidates. The link is in the description below. Alright, so why is it cardiogenic shock? Okay, so let's talk about cardiogenic shock. Now, when we insert a Swan-Ganz catheter, that allows us to monitor the central venous pressure and pulmonary capillary wedge pressure. So this type of hemodynamic monitoring will help us differentiate cardiogenic shock from other causes of shock like hypovolemia. And elevated levels of pulmonary capillary wedge pressure, PCWP, suggests that there's an increase in pulmonary vascular resistance, which could lead to severe left ventricular failure or severe mitral stenosis. So because of that, a raised PCWP would indicate a cardiogenic shock, since all the other types of shock mentioned here have a decreased PCWP. Okay, now what about septic shock? Septic shock is characterized as severe sepsis with persistently low blood pressure that has not responded to IV fluid administration. So after a fluid challenge, there's no change in BP. Septic shock. So neurogenic shock. Neurogenic shock is caused by a damage to the nervous system, and it is a distributive type of shock with vasodilation. Alright, and what about hypovolemic shock? That happens when the volume of the circulatory system is too depleted to allow sufficient circulation to the tissues of the body, so less perfusion. Okay, an anaphylactic shock happens after anaphylaxis, after an allergic reaction that cannot be seen in the stem given here. Okay, now these types of questions, although they are not commonly asked, this was asked in the November 2020 exam, but the other options I'm talking about here, septic shock, neurogenic shock, and such, are not commonly asked. But it is wise to check out all of these in our MedRevisions platform. All these options are covered extensively as well as other topics. So do make sure to check it out, and it will help you in the future exams, because you never know what you may come across in the exams. Alright, I hope that was clear for you. So the answer is cardiogenic shock. Thanks for watching. This video was brought to you by MedRevisions, your go-to resource for PLAB Part 1. Complete your revision with MedRevisions.